Welcome everyone to the latest Incubator Think Tank webinar series episode. We're here as always to provide our experiences and expertise in the hope it will help you. Today we're joined by Incubator founder and CEO Sujal Raju. Sujal and I will be discussing the topic of mass notifications, how they've changed the way businesses operate in today's world. And Sujal will also be talking about Incubator's new mass notification product called vnotifi.
Talk about notifications. It's a vital part of any business, I would think, where you want to be in touch with your clients, keep them informed of especially the services that they are interested in. That's one thing. The other is if they have subscribed and or if they have taken up a service and they want to be notified about the actual appointment date. All of these things are notifications that could be sent out. And traditionally, what used to happen is someone in the office, staff, the assistant, would pull this list up of everyone that they need to notify that particular day, either make a phone call or send them an email and let them know that, hey, this is what this is when your appointment is up, or hey, this is a new service that you're offering. And that got automated where, possibly email took over a small portion or a large portion of it, where, using softwares for sending out newsletters, as well as appointments straight from the system started, playing a bigger role. So emails was also a big part of it. But then, if you talk about the appointment itself, it could be someone that has an appointment that particular day, but not until that day they know the actual schedule, or something comes up and they want to cancel that appointment, or something happens at the center. So let's say with the pandemic, if center had to close, and all of a sudden they had to let everyone know that, hey, today we are closed, right? Or some other situation, like let's say the power outage or something happens, and they want to quickly notify someone. Well, that person could be actually on their way to that particular location, or they may not be in front of the PC to see their emails. So I think at that point, what has evolved from there is like notifying someone by making the phone calls or automated voice calls or the SMS notifications, because those could be sent out to the phone, and everyone has a phone around them all, most of the time, so it can notify them right away. So where vnotifi comes in, or mass notifications have evolved, I would say, is to have something that can instantly notify someone and know, or have a high percentage of chances of someone seeing them at that moment, in case if someone is not actually has their email up or have a way to check that. So the vnotifi product, fits in that space in that manner.
Well, thanks, Sujal. Just a little bit more on vnotifi. So it's a new product offered by Incubator, and tell us a little more, kind of the nitty-gritty of vnotifi. How you get in there, how it works, how it's going to benefit in a big way some of these businesses out there today.
Yeah, so this, the idea of creating this product actually came up because there is a huge demand with our clients, where they are using softwares where it needed for an actual phone line to be connected to it. There were legacy softwares that would do these things, and the other was like, how do you scale them? Because there is also systems where it would send out a voice call, and until that voice call is still active, it wouldn't call the next, make the next call, because it's all linear, right? With one phone number, you can only make one phone call, and then have that. And in some small businesses, they don't have access to a software or sophistication in terms of having these automations. So what we did with vnotifi is that we created a cloud-based system. And with this cloud-based system, anyone can sign up and log in to their dashboard. And from their dashboard, really from, within a few minutes, set everything up and get going with notifications that are automated. And how that works is basically they log in, create an account, and specify a list of their users. Either it could be a static list that you can work with, or you could point it to your CRM or an ERP application if you're an enterprise system, or even if a small business has a application where they manage their customers, they could connect those two together. And once you're connected, you can set a schedule for it. So let's say daily, where the system would automatically pull the list for that day and make either the phone call or the SMS message for that time. And so once they have done that, they can then pick whether it has to be an interactive session or it could be just a static message, which means that, hey, this is the message that I would like to convey. They can type that in and customize it or personalize it rather to the specific person who's going to get it. It can also use the information from your system, which will tell their name, address, anything else that you would like to know based on personalizing that message for them. And once you have done that, you have picked a schedule, and you can also do the interactions. And what I mean by that is, so let's say in a case of an appointment scheduling system, and if someone is creating a campaign inside of vnotifi where they want to be able to remind people of their appointments for that day, the system can make the phone call, and the voice would simply say that, hey, if you're so-and-so, you have an appointment today at this location, and then say press 1 to get driving directions, at which point it can actually send them the driving directions. Press 2 to reschedule the appointment in case you're not able to make something has come up, and so on and so forth. So they can actually create that interaction right in vnotifi as well. Very simple to use, just interactively, have a tree of different decision points that you want to set, and then that's it. The system uses AI technology to convert the text into voice and actually makes the phone call and does that interaction. Same thing with the SMS. Same interaction can also be done through SMS, where it sends the message out, lets the user type in, based on different options, they can select and interact with the system and then send it out. And then there is reports, right? So you can get daily reports, or you can actually go in and create ad hoc reports of different interactions that may have happened. If someone said that, hey, I never received the SMS, then you can actually go in the logs and say, like, hey, it was sent on this date, and things like that.
We've actually got a video here, a little product video. We can go ahead and show this, and afterwards, if you want, provide a little bit more information on what we're seeing here. Let's take a look.
Sounds good.
How do you send mass notifications by SMS and phone? Quickly reaching your audience for important reminders and critical events can be difficult, tasks that traditionally are labor-intensive and time-consuming. Are you like Shelley and need an easy way to send updates to all of your employees? Or maybe you're like Dr. Smith, an infectious disease expert looking for a way to streamline appointment scheduling and vaccine communication. Or maybe you can relate to Jane. Jane's an attorney who wishes there were a better way to receive and reply to case assignments. Are these some of the challenges your business is facing? If so, then it's time for something better. It's time for vnotifi. vnotifi is a cloud-based mass notification system you can use on any device. As a software-as-a-service application, vnotifi is simple and easy to access from any device. Wondering just how vnotifi works? First, get an account at vnotifi.com. Add or select the list of users you'd like to notify. vnotifi can easily pull data from EMR or CRM tools, streamlining the process of customizing your audience. No CRM, no problem. Upload your own list of users. Next, pick voice or SMS options. Simply type what you want the system to say or an SMS to read, and vnotifi will send it out at the scheduled time. Create the message and schedule it to be sent. You can even customize your schedule and choose reoccurring daily, weekly, or monthly notifications. Sit back and watch vnotifi deliver your notifications about appointments, alerts, and more at your designated time and to your specific list. vnotifi is feature-rich yet super simple to use and checks all the boxes: multi-channel distribution, 24/7 availability, intuitive scheduler, customizable, and filled with detailed reports. Wondering how vnotifi can work for you? Let's take a look. For example, meet Shelley. As a Chief Marketing Officer, Shelley needs an easy way to communicate important messaging to all her company's employees. So, Shelley uses vnotifi to quickly set up a custom notification. From here, she can choose her employee list and then schedule when the notification should send to multiple employee lists and at just the right times. Now Shelley just sits back and relaxes, and with a few simple clicks, her custom message is set up to deliver to all her employees, sending hundreds or thousands of notifications simultaneously. Or picture this. Dr. Smith wants to find a way to streamline all COVID vaccine communication, so he uses vnotifi. He can cross-check ERP with Epic and identify employees who've yet to receive the vaccine. Then Dr. Smith can schedule and send multiple automated appointment reminders right up until the time of the appointment. As a result, vnotifi can help staff that are bogged down with work by simplifying the process and making communication efficient and effortless. It's dynamic and fully interactive with advanced automated features, allowing recipients to reschedule and/or cancel appointments. For one more example, let's meet Jane. As an attorney, Jane receives assignments instantly via SMS notifications through vnotifi. vnotifi supports two-way communication, as Jane can then respond immediately to accept or reject the appellate assignment. vnotifi's enterprise messaging platform can serve as your messaging solution, whatever your industry. Are you ready to get started? Go to vnotifi.com and schedule your demo today. Thanks for choosing vnotifi.
All right, Sojo looks like an exciting product, vnotifi. A couple questions. So in the video, you mentioned some or one example of the chief marketing officer trying to get communication out internally. But employee communication is one thing, but getting messages out to the general public, especially during the current health situation, is vitally important. What ways would you say the public can benefit from vnotifi?
Yeah, and also I would say, like, any business for that matter, when we say the public, it's their audience because of which the business exists. And in this case, I would think, I think I spoke earlier a little bit about appointment scheduling, but also think about a university setting where the principal or a department wants to let all of their students know, or teachers know, faculty know that, hey, there was a power outage or something else happened, and people are always on the move on a university campus, and you want them to be notified, and they all carry a smartphone, or even for that matter, any phone that is capable of getting SMS, and this would help them get instantly notified their students or whoever their audience is or public. And in other scenarios, talking about the marketing director, so let's take an example of a hospital. You always have people who have signed up so that they could subscribe to know what's new. So let's say if there is a physician in a particular health system who is known or well known to have devised a new technique or a new treatment for, let's say, a cancer, that is getting a lot of popularity and people are trying to know more about it, right? So people sign up for that on their website. And once they have signed up, you have the option to send them the email notifications. But this is also another way of sending them notifications. Say like, hey, there is an upcoming online webinar where you can actually come and ask for a Q&A session, have a Q&A session with this physician. And that's important, right? And with emails going into the junk folder and things like that, with this, it's more of a personal, touch to it where they can get instant notification from their hospital. And that's the other important point of vnotifi product is like it's a cloud-based system, so it can scale as much as you want, sending thousands of messages at the same time. And it's cloud-based, so it will scale for as many businesses that you may have that you can set up, or as many scripts that you want to set it up for. And when these notifications are sent, it could be interactive, and it lets the system know. So let's say in the case of the health system, if the appointment is canceled and they want to let everyone know, then they can do that. And with vnotifi, you could also add your own phone numbers. So each business has a way to use their own phone numbers for this. And with that, the option helps them to know, when they get an SMS, that they would know that it's from a number that they recognize, which is also very important. So even all of those has been covered in the vnotifi product.
So those are excellent ways. I mean, getting that information out to the public, like you mentioned, a university setting, obviously communication these days, hospital, universities, school districts, things are changing so much on the fly these days with school districts canceling, going virtual, in person. How are those in those particular scenarios? How could say whether it's a university setting or school district setting, get those important reminders or information out to the kids and the parents who need to know it?
Yeah, so let's consider like the school scenario, right? So in the school, what they can connect vnotifi to is their roster of all the students and their parents' numbers, let's say, and give access to the individual classes or teachers, so that if the incident or the communication need happens to be isolated to a particular classroom, and this is happening more now where during the pandemic, some schools have actually gone in person. And when that has happened, they've also put in some strict policies where even if one student gets COVID in, let's say, that one isolated classroom, then they have to let everyone know in that classroom that, hey, maybe we'll go virtual for next 2 weeks and everyone is going to quarantine just to avoid the spread. So that's one scenario, right? So you give access to the, either a communication person within the school who can then send it out. And all they have to do is not have to worry about, hey, who all do I need to, send the SMS for, and how do I send the SMS for, because you can't do that with the office phone, or they have to pick up the phone and make voice calls to each individual, parents, and let them know of the situation. But in this case, it could be a message that's sent through vnotifi. All you have to do is like set the message of what it is, and let it go through. So let's say if one of the student happens to get COVID, and because of that, they have to let everyone else know that, hey, such and such person had it, they have tested positive, and as a precautionary measure, we would like everyone to quarantine for the next 2 weeks. And what they can do is they can set this notification up through vnotifi to send at that particular moment. But at the same time, they could also send another notification that would be automatically sent 2 days prior to the 14-day period and let them know that, hey, by the way, this is the school calling regarding the quarantine measure, and we'd like to notify that everything is good, and we would be seeing your child 2 days from now, and such and such Monday, you could come back, and then let them know again on a Sunday, right, that tomorrow they can come back. And I think it's a great way of avoiding each parent having to call the school. So it saves a lot of time and manual labor from the school's perspective, because there's so much that they have to do nowadays with all the policies and procedures around pandemic. And this way they'll avoid all those phone calls coming into the school, because you're already keeping them informed. So there's less likelihood of parents calling the school and trying to get some information that they already found through this notification. So we are just really excited about this product. There's lots and lots of users. And the best part is we're trying to make it available for a very nominal fee for what it can do. And it's 24/7. It's a cloud-based system. So people can log in at any point, make changes, or send them out for any particular time that they would like to.
Well, thanks, Sujal. So besides that, what would be a way people could find out more or set up a demo with you about vnotifi?
Yeah, so we have a website, vnotifi.com. I think you showed that earlier. But I think we encourage people to get in there. There's a form in there that they could fill in to tell a little bit more about your industry or what your needs are. And we'd be happy to set up a demo, as well as talk to you about the solution and set you up. And we also have a pilot program for certain businesses that are affected by COVID, where we are giving out some special pricing. So if any businesses are interested, feel free to contact us through the website, and we'll be more than happy to have you set up and get going with this new product.
All right, well, thanks, Sujal. Thanks for all the great information about mass notifications in general, and obviously about vnotifi. Thanks for taking the time to talk today, to give us all the great information. And any last thoughts? vnotifi seems like a great product for you.
No, thank you, Dave. Thank you so much for doing this, and glad we could talk about this product. And we certainly hope to help as many businesses as we can. Those who have a lot of dollars would obviously benefit with it. But also our idea is also the small businesses that don't have a big budget to work with, to buy all these services and worry about hosting them and then making sure the software works. We have taken care of all of that, being a cloud-based system. All you have to do is log into the system, and the rest the system would take care of it. So really excited, and thanks for having me, Trey.